Hey, Wayne Sorbelli here, down at my music store in Key West, Florida. Little tiny island, 160 miles south off the coast of Miami. Right in the dead center middle of the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean. And here, on this little island, it's all about the music. Bands every night, all day, just 7 days a week. It's incredible. And I am engulfed in the music scene, and I am engulfed in my guitar. Okay, I'm going to pay homage Led Zeppelin. I have a Led Zeppelin tribute band that I use and play around town here in the theaters and stuff, and people are always asking me about doing some Zeppelin on the videos. So now and then I'll throw one out, just show you my perspective on it. Now there's many ways to play the same thing. On the records, on the Led Zeppelin records, you have many layers of guitars that you're hearing at the same time. So I like to go to the live versions and watch what Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones, what they did, what the band did live, to see how they would construct 7 guitar parts and how they would combine that into one for a live experience. Some bands hire other musicians to go on stage. Some bands do not. Led Zeppelin is one that does not. And I'm not sure it has anything to do with who's good or who's not as good or anything like that. Eric Clapton is great, and he uses extra musicians on stage all the time. When he writes a record, if there's 4 guitar parts on the song, well, when he plays live, you're going to hear all 4 of those guitar parts. Andy Fairweather Low, Snowy White, Doyle, Bramall, the Third, even Derek Trucks for a while played with Eric Clapton. So in other words, some players like to use other guitar players to fill in the parts of the songs, and a lot of players just prefer to try to handle those duties themselves. And that's known as the Hendrix School of Thought, and I took off from that. That's what I learned. Stingray, Ray Del Pryor, he was my teacher, and that was his approach. So he didn't force it on me, but that's what I wanted to do. I went to him because I said, I want to play like you. And the rest is history. He taught me what I needed to know, and I flourished from there. I'm still flourishing. I'm just growing. I haven't flourished yet. I'm in the process. Okay, so now Bring It On Home starts off with a traditional blues dun 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 dun. You should know how to do this stuff if you're going to try to do a Zeppelin song, okay? But if not, I'll show you a little bit up front. Okay, you got the E. You hold this in your... This is the 5th string. 5th string. This is the 6th. See? And the way they do it is they cut the tone off. Okay? I mean, after a while, you just get used to how to make it sound like the record, okay? Cut the tone off all the way. I like to use my neck pickup for it because it's warm. And you can tell the differences compared to nice and sharp. Hear all the treble? Turn that treble off. Might even turn my volume down a little bit. Although I like the creamy sound, I like that dirty sound. Now it stays on this for a while. It does it a while without any vocals. The words come in. I can't sing or else the copyright claim my video. And after about 100 million times, it goes to the A. back to E, B, A, B. He does it again. B, A. Now, I like to throw, I've listened to live version after live version and all that. I like the way he ends this. He does the blues turnaround, but he climbs up instead of down. Okay? They don't do it in the record, but I love it. On the live versions, I hear him. He does like this. At the end, he goes. Watch. Instead of the blues turnaround, he just reverses it. Then you kick that baby down to the bridge pickup, because that's your hot pickup, right? And now I'm going to get that nice crunchy sound. Now, you can keep it in that setting. Live, I notice Page keeps a lot of treble going all the time. But for the record, I hear, he kind of goes back and gives a more warm tone, because you want the treble of the vocals to stand out. You don't want to step on the words. So when Plant starts to sing here, I don't play with Robert Plant, but I'm just saying, pretending I would turn my switch in the middle so that his treble of the voice can stand out. And then I would become a lower, less prominent in the mix than him, because you want to hear the words. And now the second part, so coming off of that, let's see how I do. I keep it down. All of a sudden, move it up, and then... Right, and it does that over and over a bunch of times. I gave you a close-up here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm doing this part of the E7 chord, right? A, but not really A, just the root and the third. So it's kind of like the root and the fifth. Oh, hang on. Can I say that? That's a small E chord there, Just doing the treble end of it. The E string, B string, G string, and first fret G string. Okay. And then little power chords here. This. that main riff right there. Let me get up close. I'll show you what's going on. All right, right here we got. Right, you got that E scale stuff. So now I've got 5th string, the A string, right? I'm going to hammer on to the 2nd fret. Or you can pick. I think he changes up. Live I see hammer on, pick, pick, pick. But then live, sometimes I see so it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Or we'll say it's player's choice, artistic freedom, okay? You do the way you want to hear it. For now, I'm going to do like I just heard the record before I put this on to refresh my memory. Pick, 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 pick. Pick, 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 pick. 5th string, 2-4. D string, 2-4. Open E. 3rd string, 2nd fret, bend it up until you hear the 4th fret. That's called the whole step bend. You can get that pretty quick once you do it a bunch of times. See, that's too trebly for me. Although with a band, it might cut through the mix great. But here for in the room for the lesson, I like to use my toggle and then come back up to the middle, round the sound out a bit more. See, always be conscious of the ear. The sound is so important, right? Then I hit it back down for the riff, right? Boom. That song's pretty consistent. It's hard to believe, but I believe it. It is hard to believe, but believe me, it's a Led Zeppelin song without a solo, without a guitar solo. I can't believe it. I guess because legitimately, that riff is so hard to play, it's kind of like you're doing a guitar solo the whole song, okay? So I guess that makes up for it. You know, he starts off with that nice little blues stuff, right? I keep this pickup up, and I keep the volume already down, the tone all the way off, so I don't have to set it, because it goes back to that at the end of the song, so I want to be ready, right? I don't want to be left out in the dark. So, let's see. I knocked out my plug over here. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I've got a wah pedal set on the floor. I was doing a class with somebody. You know, I give lessons here, so I did a little. Can't help it. Just love it. Oh yeah, and the wah pedal. I've been having tons of fun with my Jimmy Page Les Paul. I'm pulling out the wah pedals, crybaby pedals, you know, just having a blast. I appreciate you guys watching on here and subscribing and hitting the like button on the channel. You know, if people don't like to watch it, I'm not going to make them. So if anybody likes watching them, please hit the subscribe, hit the like button. It helps so much. And then it lets me know what videos I should be making, if any, right? I have quite a nice business going with my lessons in person. And I love to do my Led Zeppelin tribute band at the theaters here and around where I live in Key West. I'm not much into travel unless it's going on vacation with my beautiful family. But not to work. I like to work right here and go home as soon as I'm done. All right. Anyway, that was Bring It On Home. Led Zeppelin starts with this, right? Bluesy of the bluesy of the blues. Anybody know what Led Zeppelin record this is from, huh? I wonder who knows. I believe Bring It On Home is on Led Zeppelin 2. I think so. I'm almost positive. I could look it up quick, but, you know, I'd rather use the brain so that we get to keep it. Don't mean to scare you young guys, but really, if you depend on your phone for everything or your computer, if you don't write stuff down, if you don't make yourself mental notes, we're going to lose it. In a few hundred years, our species will be dumbed down so much. We spent millions of years to become the absolute pinnacle of evolution. And then what now? We're going to cut ourselves with our own sharp intellect, set ourselves back a million years. We better be careful. So we should start all playing the guitar and spread joy and happiness through that, because through music, you know, you can spread a message, and it's feel-good stuff. So people are more, let's say, susceptible to listen to a message in a song, right? Because it's fun. Anyway, that's a whole different video too. Let's stick on this one. Sorry. That's hard to do that, okay? If you're not used to stretching on these wide frets, you might want to adapt that last part of the song, and you start off in the E because you don't have to stretch hard here. When you go to the B, go to your 7 and 9 on your 6 and 5 strings. Look at 7 and 9 fret, 6 and 5 string, because you don't have to stretch so far. You see that? Look. Watch. The A is right down here, so you don't have to stretch for that. You know, that's strumming the 5 and 4 strings, okay? Back to the E, which is up on to your 6 and 5 strings. And then he does it again. But you can do it here. That's beautiful. I love Led Zeppelin. I've always loved Jimmy Page's playing. I've always loved John Paul Jones's bass and keyboard playing. I've always loved Robert Plant's songwriting and singing. I adore John Bonham's percussion and drum lines. What a magical band. You know, people at the time, back at that era, not saying we're still burning people at the stake for being witches or something like that, but they're accusing Led Zeppelin of being into magic and spells and all this. Really, listen how easy this was to understand by today's knowledge and understanding. Here's what Jimmy Page said. If you put together this person, this person, this person, and this person, these four separate people, by themselves, you have, Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, and John Bonham, right? Now, where he believes magic comes in is because when you put these four musicians together, you have something that you didn't have before. This different force, this different energy that they called Led Zeppelin. And he said, only when we put those four together, then this other thing is created. So if you can, put four oranges together and create a banana out of it, that would be like considered magic, right? If you can put four people together and create something, a fifth element or a fifth, what would you call that? Dimension, a fifth thing, realm, whatever, right? A possibility. That's magic. So yes. Is music magic? Yes. Is Led Zeppelin magical? Yes. If you don't believe that, why in the heck are you watching this video so long? Watch a fishing video or something. Which I love fishing, but I'm just saying, right? You must be interested in it. Somewhere deep down inside, you must understand this language is a part of all of us. That's why we all love it so much. You might not like rock and roll, but you're going to like this or country or this or traditional Cuban music or traditional Indian music, traditional Asian, whatever, right? This is the cream of the crop, all right? The epitome of all the languages. The one that does not contain any nouns. You can't speak of any material items. On the guitar, I can't say the word, that girl, that car, my dog. With this language, the only thing I can speak is emotions. And I can connotate actions. I can make things sound like they're speeding up or slowing down. Okay? You can certainly make things sound happy. You can make them sound sad. You can make them sound like they have a question mark at the end. You can make them sound bittersweet. There's a few different modes, 7. And then, depending on other factors, there's even more ways to elicit emotions out of the music. This language, we're just beginning now to understand how deep and important this is and how powerful it is. Even the Indians did rain dance, right? American natives, even they understood. I shouldn't say even they understood. I should say they understood. We need to learn. All right. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate if you hit that little subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Please share the video to anybody that you think might find it useful or on some sort of social media. If you're a musician, please grab a guitar and go through a couple of the things and see if it helps you out. And if it does, please drop me a comment and let me know. I appreciate you. All right? I mean, everybody that watches, even if you like to stay anonymous, I appreciate you watching. It all helps the channel out. It allows me to keep doing it for other people. And I just want to say one more time, I love my Jimmy Page Les Paul. It's a signature series, 1994. Mwah, mwah. I'm in total love with it. I've had it for the better part of my life since I was a young man. A friend of mine needed to buy a Harley Davidson. Mine needed to buy a Jimmy Page Les Paul. So we worked out a deal, huh? All right. Thank you, everybody. I truly appreciate you. How do I like to say? Strum happy, pick well, smile often. God bless you. Thank you.